Forgive me, my dear time-traveling friends. In case you don't know me, please allow me to introduce myself. I am the KNIME Knight in Limelight. Well, I think I know exactly what you're here for. You want to see that our journey we started together will go on and how it will go on. The last time we met each other by the fireplace, we discovered the dragon's treasure. Now we need to put it in our own chests. And this, my dear ladies and sires, is what we talk about in this episode. But before we do that, let's kick it off with the intro. Are you ready to travel with me again? By the count of 3. 1, 2, 3.
So, here we are with our powerful extraction wand, also known otherwise as the KNIME Analytics Platform. If you remember from our last adventure together, we extracted 178 HTML pages or URLs here, which you could see in the node monitor, which each contain one spell and one spell only. Now we need to go through these 178 line items each one by one. KNIME's loop nodes from the workflow automation category are an excellent way to do that. We basically just tell it to go through each single row, and that's basically controlled here by the one in the rows per chunk setting. And then we basically feed it each single URL from a table row into a flow variable. So we make it flow variable with the table row to variable node here. So if you remember, the input column is ZS-link. This contains our URLs, and basically the outcome, the flow variables that we have here, is the ZS-link and the URL. And we need that in the very next step, because as a next step we have the navigate node. But before we do that, we start just another WebDriver. By the way, very efficient ways to use Selenium Nodes is to start and quit WebDrivers and use them only when they are needed. So that's basically what we do here in this node. It provides the WebDriver, the Selenium browser if you want, which is required to extract data from the web. And then we just go into this navigate node, and if you just look here, the WebDriver input, so the browser, is basically what comes here from the start WebDriver node, and the URL it needs to go to is driven by our flow variable, which we have created in the step before, the ZS-link flow variable. So this node here navigates to that URL, and the very next node, the page source node, just extracts it. It's a very simple node. It just needs the WebDriver, so the URL as an input, the current URL that is called through the navigate node, so to say, then it extracts it. Then already we end our loop to start it again over here. And once we are done, we have now 178 source codes in our resulting table. Just have a look. You can see it here, collected results. You see here is the source code of every single table. And then we quit the WebDriver again because we don't need it anymore for the next steps. So that also is a very efficient way to use the Selenium browser or the the Selenium driven browser and the Selenium nodes. You only use them when they are required. You start them when you need them and you stop them if you don't need them anymore. Everything else is offline, so to say. So now we have collected all the data from each single page.
So now that we have opened the dragon's treasure chest, we at least know what is in there. But we have to find a way to scrap the rubbish from the gold. And that's exactly what we'll do in our very next episode. So until then, with the dearest salutations, your KNIME Knight in Limelight. Adieu.